Well, good morning everybody. This is Capri in Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. This is my second video about preparing my alt for the expansion. In this video, I'm working towards my goals of making 500 gil, or 500,000 gil per week, and leveling all of my Disciples of the Hand up from level 25 to 30. So at the start of the week, because I love farming, and because I was waiting for my leaves to regenerate, I picked up about 100,000 gil worth of mats for each mining, botany, and fishing. For mining, I picked up a bunch of black aluminum, and for botany, I picked up a bunch of flax. For fishing, I used 3 locations. The first location was Upper Noscea, at Fool's Falls at around position 1021. I used the tackle called Floating Minnow, and I was able to catch a bunch of Bluebell Salmon. The second location that I used was Western Noscea at Halfstone. This is right next to where you get the Sahagin dailies, and this is about position 1622. I used the tackle called Steel Jig, and this location is a great place to farm Hammerhead, Shark, and Sea Pickle. And the third location that I visited was in Eastern Noscea, North Bloodshore. This is about position 3225. I used Spoonworm and Herring Ball. Both of these can be purchased at Costa del Sol. I mostly used the Spoonworm because I was mostly after the Black Soul, but you can also get Sea Pickle and Red Coral from this location. And with the other fish that I was not intending on selling in today's list, I donated the rest of my fish to a friend to use to level their descenting. And don't be intimidated by the 100,000 mark for each of these disciples. It's really easy to obtain. I basically needed about 6 to 7 stacks of flax and black aluminum, and I only needed about 100 fish. And to be honest, it only took me maybe 4 hours. Also, since I took my time with the farming, I maybe farmed half an hour a day, I was able to gather a bunch of maps. And, to finish out the challenge log, I farmed up an additional mat outside of the black aluminum. When it came to leveling the Disciple of the Hands, I spent my week, whenever I had time. I refined materials that I needed in my repeatable leaves for level 25 to 35, as well as some items that I could make gil with in later videos. I used the Game Skinny's guide for leveling Disciple of the Hands, and I'll link that in the description below. On my Alchemist, with the intention of using them during the weekend's Leve burn, I made a bunch of high potions. However, this got me to level 30, so I decided to sell them instead. On Weaver, I refined a bunch of dew thread, undyed velveteen cloth, and I crafted some of my own crafting gear. And keep in mind, velveteen takes cotton yarn, which can be purchased from the Alchemist Guild supplier. Both Weaver and Alchemist both hit level 30 without the use of leaves. With my Carpenter, I first made yew lumber, and I picked up the logs while doing level 25 or 20 to 25 leaves. Then I refined a bunch of walnut and oak lumber, and got my Carpenter up to level 29. With Blacksmith and Armorer, I made enough steel ingots to kill a horse, and this got me up to level 28 with both of them. With leatherworking, I refined all goat leather, which, since it's comparatively low-leveled synth, it barely got me to level 26. And then the weekend hit. I started selling my farmed items and maps. As retainers sold raw materials, I would list the high-quality high potions in stacks of 15, which is what is needed and required for the repeatable leave. I used repeatable leaves to get Carpenter, Blacksmith, Armorer, and Leatherworker up to level 30. This didn't take very many. I listed a couple leftover leave items, and when I went to look into using leaves on Goldsmith, I decided the materials for the repeatable leaves were too annoying and expensive, and I didn't feel like farming for it. So I decided instead to use Goldsmith this week to make the rest of my money. I used the silver ingots that I had crafted during the week, and I purchased raw gems from the Goldsmith Guild supplier. I made accessories in the level 26 to 30 bracket of the crafting log, and I made and listed 2 at a time. And now to admit to my hilarious organizational problems this week. I didn't do very good record keeping this week, so I didn't calculate my cost and profit, I didn't write down how many leaves I spent where, or anything like that. It was quite literally, I was haphazard. But to give you the idea of the items that I sold flax, black aluminum, black soul, sea pickle, bluebell salmon, hammerhead sharks, red coral, and maps. From crafting, I finished selling 2 items from last week's video. I sold a bunch of high potions in stacks of 15, high quality. I sold excess stuff that I used to finish the last 5% of Leatherworker to 30 because I didn't want to use a leave on that. And I sold some failed normal quality items for level 30 quests, some leftover leave items, and low-leveled accessories from goldsmithing. And then this morning I got to loot. From my first retainer, I looted 445,000 gil. And from my second retainer, I looted 386,000 gil. For a total of 831,000 gil that I looted. Alright, I would like to thank everybody who took the time to watch this really hilariously disorganized video. I would like to thank all of my subscribers. I would like to thank everybody who's commented and liked on my videos before. I really appreciate you guys, and I'll try to put out better content next week, okay?